Set 1 will be played on Whirlwind. Spawning in the top right-hand position as the Yellow Terran, playing for CJ Entis, currently with a 100% win rate in Pro League, despite it only being 2 wins. His name is Bunny, and he showed some pretty impressive play against Protoss players, especially JYP. Sorry.
Okay. His opponent is a fan favorite in Pro League. From SK Telecom T1, spawning as Red Protoss on the left bottom position of the map. His name is Bisu.
And so, you know, since this is kind of a map that's not really too favored for Protoss, what do you think, man? Do you think Bisu's got something up his sleeve here? Is he going to go for the Oracle play at all?
I'm not too sure right now because it's a 4-player map and he needs to scout a little bit early to see where the Terran player is if he wants to go for the core right into Stargate build.
Yeah. Actually, Bisu's going to go for Nexus first, I think.
Oh, that's actually not a bad idea on this map, especially, and it also works out for him in this particular game. He doesn't know where his opponent is, but it's diagonal position.
Okay, never mind. He's going for the gateway. I saw a lot.
You got me excited for no reason, man.
I saw a lot of probes queued up, and I was like, well, maybe he's going to go for it.
Just maybe.
Yeah. Bisu also going to scout pretty fast after that gateway. I like that. It looks like Bunny is going to go ahead and grab that command center first based on the amount of resources he has and the lack of barracks or refineries. Also want to point out that CJ Entis is 3-2 over SK Telecom T1 this season, but SK Telecom did win the most recent match between them before the two.
Oh yeah, definitely. And remember last year's playoffs, CJ Entis actually knocked out SK Telecom T1 in the playoffs, so SK Telecom T1 could not make it into the finals.
Yeah.
So now it's up to SK Telecom T1 to take revenge against CJ Entis by putting them out of playoffs by winning the game today.
Yeah. They want to get their revenge here.
I mean, realistically, CJ Entis is hard for them to make it into playoffs at this point. You know, the scenario has to be SK Telecom T1 going 0-4, Samsung Khan also getting at most 1 win after starting from today, and CJ Entis winning all of their games 4-0. So that's the reason why a lot of fans are saying CJ Entis is out of the race. But realistically, they're still in the race if you work out the numbers.
All right, Bisu does spot the command center here. Going to start harassing one of the SCVs on the command center there. Another one will scare it away. Bisu, though, known notoriously for his good worker micro. They try to abuse that, getting a fast nexus here at 22 supply. Pretty standard.
Pretty standard. And I have to say, Bisu, he wants to utilize the probe a little bit more, but the command center does finish.
Yeah. And we do have a single Marine on the way. The second barracks about to finish here. No gas just yet for the Terran player.
So standard opening from Bunny right now. This is the Wings of Liberty style command center first into Turax build, which is really nice because early in the game you don't have as many Marines out, so you need the double barracks to get as many Marines out as possible. And you can throw down a tech lab, reactor, whatever you want right after.
Yeah. All right, Bisu going for a Stalker, getting a Warp Gate as well. Going to grab a second gas as well. I think this means that we're not going to be seeing any type of Stargate tech early on from Bisu. He could go for it a little bit later, but most likely we'll see him just go into the standard Robo style.
Bunny going for a really fast third command center behind this. He also knows that Bisu is not going to go inside the main base to scout what Bunny has right now, so this is a really nice play for him. And yes, he's playing really greedy. If Bisu prepared some type of 2-base attack against his opponent today, then it might actually work out because Bunny is playing so greedy, but this is going to pretty much put Bunny in a solid position later into the game.
And, you know, he's getting that third Rax there because he didn't get a complete scout around Bisu's base. He just saw he saw like the double gas with 3 guys on each. So that doesn't tell Bunny a lot of information. Just lets him know that, okay, he could be going for some type of attack.
Well, if he clicked on 2 assimilators at the same time, he could have seen the difference between the gas and said, well, he got the second gas a little bit later. But for now, Bunny actually did not check out the gas amount inside the assimilator as he's checking around his main base just to make sure there's no proxy. Starting
the scout, and Bisu going to do a little bit of harassment with the Stalker here, but has to be very careful against those Marines. Taking a little bit of hull damage there, but not too much.
Yeah, it was actually focus fired on that 1 Marine over there, and Bisu didn't pay attention until the very last second.
Yeah. All right, 2 additional gateways on the way. We do have an Observer being warped in as well. And from Bunny's side, he's getting a Tech Lab add-on now. He's going to start his upgrades. The advantage of the 3cc opening here is that your economy is in excellent condition,
Yeah.
but the downside is that your tech does suffer for a period of time.
And look at this, Bunny playing so solid, just making sure the Bisu is not going for any fast third Nexus shenanigans over here. Because we've been seeing a lot of those builds happening in Pro League these days.
Even throwing down an extra scan because he has those 3 command centers, but the important tech, the Forge and Robotics Bay, are missed here, so you know that's not going to give any indication of Bisu's plan here.
Yeah, and with the soccer out right now, I think it's better for Bisu to just double check in the third base area and take out the Marine as early as possible. That's going to put Bunny in a little bit more uneasy position since the tech has been scouted, and it also gives Bunny the feeling that Bisu might be going for some timing attack behind this, or really fast third with tons of gateways behind it.
Yeah. The thing is, Bisu has not scouted the fast third. He doesn't really know what Bunny's planning on doing here. He's going to find out pretty soon with this observer, but he has to just assume that he's playing more of the standard style that Terran does nowadays, which is going, of course, for a very fast Hellbat drop with some upgrades behind it. Bisu needs the micro properly with that Stalker, low on health, but does survive. Has picked off 2 Marines so far, and Bisu needs to scout throughout the entire base here.
He's going to see it right now.
All right, there he goes. He sees the 3rd command center. And he'll also see how far behind the starport is compared to the normal timing. So that's going to let him know, oh, my opponent actually got a really fast third.
So now here's a decision for Bisu. Is he going to try to go for a fast third Nexus behind this, or is he going to try to go for a 2-base timing attack?
He did have enough resources for a... he's not going to scout a fast third there.
He's not going to scout the fast third, and the probe is moving towards the 9 o'clock position. Nexus.
There we go.
Built.
3rd Nexus is being constructed now at 9 minutes, about 15 seconds. So normally the Nexuses are a little bit later here, but because his opponent Bunny got a fast third, he can do the same thing.
Yeah, well, he still needs to be careful because the medevacs are coming out pretty soon, and he needs to defend against the medevac drops if he's trying to take a third base behind this.
Armory also on the way here, so that could indicate Hellbat drops. Also, the +1 is about to finish, so it could just mean more upgrades.
Yeah, for now, I think it's more upgrades, right? Because we also don't have the reactor next to the factory.
Yeah, and from what I remember, Bunny's playstyle, he gets a lot of units, a lot of production online, and then he just constantly hammers his opponent with attacks.
Like I said, it's like watching Flash play.
Bisu adding on a few additional gateways here. 3 is going to go up the double forge. This is a very Wings of Liberty style play where you just sit back, you play very defensive, and you macro up, and you get your additional expansions, and try to go for that very strong death ball.
And in fact, if you don't get dropped inside the main base or the natural, and don't lose significant amount of probes or tech buildings, then this is a really solid play that Protoss players can go for.
Right, Bisu transferring a few probes to that 3rd base here. Very, very passive game on either side here because Bunny, he kind of said, I'm going to play very economic this game, and Bisu's just playing reactionary to that.
But do remember, Bunny doesn't know that there's a Colossus out on the field right now. He didn't scout it, and also Bisu's not showing the Colossus until the very last second.
Yeah. Right, here come the medevacs. The observer, does it spot the medevacs? Oh, it sees the Marines.
2 Marines over there, and also medevac at the last second.
He knows.
Like I said, Bisu is multitasking, and it's fantastic as there's a double drop going inside the main base, but Bisu is already prepared against it.
So the medevac's being scared away just by 2 Stalkers. He is moving across the map, though, with some additional units here. That's going to tip off Bisu of a multi-pronged attack. So now he just has to split his units properly. We do have Hellbats on the way from Bunny, and he's just focusing heavily on production, getting Vikings now, Marauders, +1 armor, +2 attack. Bisu getting his +2 armor, +1 attack as well.
Bisu's observer positioning is fantastic throughout the whole game. He has 1 observer over there to make sure there's no attack going on at the 3rd base, while Bunny, he's going to do a double-pronged attack.
There he goes. Uh-oh! That Colossus is there, but will survive. However, the 3rd base under attack.
But
and
the Colossus are already over there. Nice blink. Does it pick off a medevac? No, it doesn't. However, it does scare away Bunny, which is something that Bisu needed to do right now.
Also, the supplies are actually pretty close here. No Colossus has been killed in the engagements. Charge is on the way, +2 armor and +1 attack are just about to finish here. We have a Templar Archives on the way from Bisu, and overall, just, a lot of production. Bunny, like I said, Bisu's playing a very defensive style. It's very hard to crack the shell. And excellent forward blink. They're going to pick off some of the medevacs and units as well.
Yeah, this was really nice forward blink by Bisu. Also knowing that there's no unit going at the 3rd base. That's the key point. Usually the Protoss players cannot move out like this if they know that there's a drop going inside the 3rd base.
And we have a single Zealot moving over here to the 3rd. And some of the SCVs may get picked off here, actually. Nope. The Bio comes by to wave high at that Zealot and then kill it.
Yeah, well, these Stalkers are just going to try to press forward and see if there's any units moving out on the map. Does see the Marauders, but all he has to do is blink
Bisu
back.
not paying attention. He's going to lose a single stalker to that.
Oops.
Yeah. All right, we have Storm on the way, but I think this is a very strong. Here it is.
Uh-oh, SCV train.
The SCV train, but how many Vikings are in this army composition? I think I only see a max of 4 or 6, and that's 4 Colossi in the army mix for Bisu here.
But still, Bisu needs to be careful because that's only a handful of Stalkers. If he wastes those Stalkers in the front, then he has nothing to take out the Vikings.
Oh, a nice job, though, from Bisu. He is sending a few units there. Nice force fields go down, but the Colossus cannot fall here. He needs the wait for Storm, but Storm is not yet complete.
It's so close to completing. If he finishes the Storm, then he's going to win the battle no matter what.
The Stalkers need to focus fire down. The Vikings, there's only 5 of them, and they are starting to go ahead and focus fire. Probes off the mineral line, but there are so much
Where's the Storms?
bio units here. 167. Now Storm is out, but is it enough? Excellent splits from Bunny here. He's pressing forward. I think he has enough to take out the army of Bisu here. The Nexus is going to fall.
If he just had one more round of force fields at the ramp, then he can actually defend it against the attack, buy enough time for the Storms to come out. But this is too much from Bunny.
So unfortunately, it looks like Bisu is going to end up falling here. He doesn't really have enough to deal with these units. And, you know, he tried to wait for Storm. I think that it may have been a better choice to get a few more Stalkers out and focus fire down on the Viking count. You know, there were 4 Colossus only, maybe got 8 Vikings.
Yeah, and this is only 6 gateways right now, which means that he could only warp in 6 cells at a time, which is not enough to defend against army from Bunny. If the Colossus has come out and if Bisu has a nice macro, he could just eat away on some of the army over here. And it seems like he killed a lot of SCVs at the third base also. Look at the SCV count right now. 31 probes to 41 SCVs, but the Colossus is not being built. This is really crucial for Bisu at this point.
Wait, Bisu, I think he's going to actually defend here.
He's going to barely hold right now. Oh my god, he barely holds.
But the problem is 46 to 115 supply. That's pretty huge.
And also the third base, the probes have been taken out.
Yeah, as well. The Stalkers there will eventually pick those off, but 27 to 41 workers. I'm not sure how much longer Bisu can hold on here. He's going to be able to, you know, pick off the rest of these units, but the continued aggression from Bunny here, I think that's what's going to be the killing blow.
And remember, Terran players have mules.
They have mules.
They don't need the SCVs.
Their units are a lot stronger on the lower tech as well. If Bisu had like DTs or something, maybe he could hold. He's trying to go first around. There's just not enough units from his end, though.
Yeah, that's going to be it. Only Blink Stalkers left for Bisu as Bunny is making constant units from his barracks.
Like we said in the previous cast when we watched Bunny, keep an eye out for this guy. He looks sick good, and I think he's going to eventually be able to take this. Bisu may hold on for a little bit longer, but the economy, man, that's the huge difference here. It's 22 to 40 workers. Bisu's tech has been destroyed as well. No Templar Archives, no Colossus tech.
Dude, look at the supply.
Yeah, 28 to 109. Yeah, I think this is pretty much over. There's really not much that Bisu can do.
I think he learned how to GG in StarCraft2 from Fantasy.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, these Marines are just going to rip apart on the probes and GG. Bunny takes set number 1 against Bisu from SK Telecom T1.
Bisu is actually really close to holding off that attack, but unfortunately, I felt like he didn't focus fire down the Vikings correctly.
Here's the thing, he could have tried to go for it, but there was too many Marines, and the Viking was in perfect position where if the Stalkers went for the Vikings, the Bio Ball from Bunny was going to eat apart on Bisu's Stalkers. So he was just panicking a little bit. There was no second wave of force fields to buy enough time to get the Storm for the Templars.
Also, really good map to use that Dragon, I think.
Yes.
Works perfectly. All right, so the score currently 1-0 with CJ Entis taking first blood over SK Telecom T1. Bunny, the Prodigy Terran, I feel, from CJ Entis, defeating Bisu from SK Telecom T1. And the next match is going to be Hydra versus Rain. It's going to be a ZVP on Neoplanet S. So we're going to have that matchup very soon here. Don't go anywhere, guys. This is the SK Planet Pro League.